A public inquiry has opened in Lagos into the possible violations of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act in the controversial death of Chef Peju Ugboma on the 25th of April after an elective surgery. Husband to the deceased, Mr. Ugboma, was among the witnesses who testified on Tuesday, but none of the doctors from Premier Specialist Medical Center who attended to Mrs. Ugboma initially were present, despite the summons issued on them. Kemi Foladiemo has more.
The Chief Medical Director of the Premier Specialist Medical Center, Dr. Lolu Oshinowo, was the first in the lineup of doctors called up to testify. But the council told the fact-finding panel that Dr. Oshinowo was overseas and could only give a virtual testimony instead. To this, the executive chairman of the FCCPC said it wasn't the witness's prerogative to opt for this means. It also demanded for his travel itinerary to ascertain whether his absence was in violation of summons, which has since been issued since June the 7th, with a reminder also sent out on Monday. The panel also frowned at the council's report that the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria had threatened to suspend the practicing licenses of doctors at Premier if they attended the hearing. This was after the MDCN had appeared at the start to call for the suspension of the proceedings to allow them carry out their own investigations.
The doctors working in Premier Hospital are not saying that they are not accountable to the family, the Ugboma family. What they are saying, for the record, is that they have been informed by their specific regulators that yes, you are accountable for the conduct of your profession.
The FCCPC and all these people who are here, including the Federal Ministry of Health, including the presidency, which MDCN will say to people, don't go there. And by the way, what exactly is it that we're doing here? Someone is dead. And we're trying to determine what went wrong.
A deposit. A team from the Evercare Hospital, where the late mother of two later died shortly after being transferred, was also on ground to testify. But the panel ruled that it will be premature at this stage in the absence of Premier yet to give evidence. In his testimony, Mr. Ugboma accused Premier of not giving the needed information to them, not acting with urgency when her condition deteriorated, and he says Premier is yet to release her full medical records as requested.
So, did you know that your wife was possibly reacting to blood that had been transfused?
I wasn't told as well.
Did you know that during the surgical procedure, they discontinued a certain blood transfusion and started another line?
I wasn't told as well.
You didn't know any of that?
No.
The private patients, at the end of the consultation, they make payments. We don't ask money before.
Though the panel says Premier has to an extent complied with the summons sent to it to submit documents needed for the hearing, it says it will dialogue with the MDCN and the NMA in a bid to ensure the full cooperation of Premier's doctors in the next phase of its inquiry. Kemi Foladiemo, TVC News, Lagos.